Marge Ptaszek was searching for the purpose of her life and the truth that would tie everything together to make sense of what was taught and what was happening on our planet, the fire that was creating all the smoke. Through many experiences, she was finally led to the knowledge book that provided all the answers. She is now talking about this gift to humanity on Knowledge Book Radio, so all can be united in peace, love, and harmony. Please call 1-973-787-7035 or email mmjp99@gmail.com with questions. If you send your postal address to mmjp99@gmail.com, you will receive 3 chapters of the Knowledge Book as a gift. Now, here is your host, Marge Ptaszek.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marge Ptaszek, and you're listening to Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Ptaszek on Transformation Talk Radio. And we will continue our talk about a specific topic that we've been doing for quite a while now. And I wanted to give a little bit of an interest to what these Omega talks are and where they're coming from and why they are being given. So the planet has been given energies, cosmic energies from the get-go. They were targeted to raise humanity to the level of the 18th evolutionary dimension, which is the 72nd energy dimension, and it is the alpha dimension, the dimension of love. So little by little, humans are habituated to higher and higher energies, and they are able to resonate at higher frequencies, and therefore are able to absorb higher energies, and therefore absorb and know higher knowledge, and therefore attain higher consciousness. However, recently, the Omega dimension has been opened. This is the 19th dimension, the 76th energy dimension, and it is otherwise known as the Union of Central Suns, and this is where all the unification takes place. Everyone will be unified in this dimension, at this dimension. Now, the talk that I'm giving today, and there are other people who are also doing these talks, during these talks, there's something very special that's happening, because the talk itself is charged with Omega energy. It doesn't matter what topic is being covered. However, it is always the vehicle that enables people to receive Omega energy directly from the Omega dimension. And again, I mentioned that Omega is the dimension of unification and solidarity. And those individuals who take part in the talk, listen to the talk, basically those people are enabling the opening of the Omega dimension to the planet, to everyone on the world. So therefore, it helps people to achieve positive consciousness, to raise their frequency and energy and knowledge and evolution level. So those people who actually participate in these Omega talks are actually helping humanity. They're doing a service to humanity. Now, the topic for this month is the bamboo. And we'll start on this talk now. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot to mention that the main website for the Knowledge Book for Cult is www.davidkiteboy.nirvana.org.tr. This is the main Knowledge Book website for the World Brotherhood Union. Now, the Call to Friendship, which is the program that's in connection to which we are giving these talks, is the Call to Friendship Association, and their website is www.calltofriendship.org. Call to Friendship, all one word, .org. Okay. And of course, my website, my email address is mmjp99, Mary John Peter 99 at gmail.com. Telephone number 973-787-7035. So please do text or email or call if you have any questions about this talk or any other talks that were given previously. Okay, so now we're going to talk about bamboo. And starting out with the basics, bamboo is a giant woody grass that grows chiefly in the tropics where it is widely cultivated. They are a diverse group of mostly evergreen, perennial flowering plants that make up the subfamily of Bambusidae of the grass family Poaceae. Now, it's hard to think, at least it was hard for me to think, that bamboo is a grass. But if you look at the way the stalk looked, and if you look at your grasses, ornamental grasses, or any grass that's growing that's allowed to go to seed, you will notice the same kind of divisions in the stem and where the actual leaf is coming from the actual stalk on the grass. So it is a grass and it looks like a grass, except that it's huge and is very tall. And it is also one of the most versatile plants on Earth. It is known for its strength, its flexibility, and durability. And it's been used in everything from construction to clothing. But it's more than just a practical plant. It has deep cultural significance and spiritual power in many parts of the world. Throughout history, bamboo has been revered as a symbol of resilience and strength. Its ability to bend without breaking has made it a famous metaphor for human adaptability and perseverance. If you look at bamboo and pictures of a bamboo forest, they're very, very flexible and they bend over. And it's easy to see that it's flexible and can go back to where it was before. It does not stay down. The plant is also very fast growing. And this fast growth rate also represents vitality and renewal. Bamboo is often associated with good luck, prosperity, and longevity, depending on the culture that it is present in. For example, in China, bamboo represents nobility and integrity. So if you look at the Chinese character for bamboo, and it is right here, then it's got three parts. It's got the up and down, it's got the crosswise, and it's got the space in the middle. So an upright person means that the person is standing up. So those are the two sticks going up and down, and therefore has an unyielding spine. It'll stand firm. Then the social grace is the two horizontal lines at the top. And then inner purity is symbolized by the space in between those two lines. So the symbol itself basically stands for what the Chinese believe the symbol of bamboo is. Now, bamboo, besides being associated with China and the panda, grows abundantly in natural forests in Japan as well. And here it symbolizes simplicity and elegance. Japanese Zen gardens often use bamboo, fences, or water spouts to create a calming atmosphere. And if anyone has had a little waterfall in their homes, they usually have some form of bamboo in it. Then in India, where bamboo was used to make paper as early as 1500 BC, it represents knowledge and wisdom. The importance of bamboo extends beyond symbolism. It plays a crucial role in many aspects of daily life around the world, from food to medicine to art. So as important as it is to go with the flow, and that's the main thesis of Taoism, you don't interfere with anything, you just keep going with the flow and meet whatever experience comes to you, deal with it and move on, and try not to change anything to your own personal individualistic view. So in this view, in the Taoist view, bamboo goes beyond even that, because the bamboo is hollow, and therefore bamboo is emblematic, it's symbolic of the Buddhist enlightenment, of the void, of being one with the void. In Southeast Asia, young bamboo shoots are harvested as a delicacy during springtime festivals, and they are believed to have detoxifying properties that refresh the body after winter. Bamboo charcoal, this is used in cosmetics because it absorbs impurities from the skin. So even the ash from a bamboo is used to detoxify and absorb toxins from the skin. And traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, practitioners use dried leaves or stems to treat fevers or coughs. So it's used as food, used as medicine, and used in cosmetics, one of the many uses for bamboo. So it's clear that bamboo is not just a plant. It's an essential part of human history and development that will continue to impact future generations. Now, in the late 19th century and early 20th century, there was a trend that came about called as Japonism. And this trend swept across Europe and America. And what happened was that at that point, everyone started to have great appreciation for Japanese art and culture, and that included bamboo symbolism. So many Western artists began incorporating bamboo into their work during this time. Now, it may surprise some of you, and it certainly surprised me, to learn that Vincent van Gogh was one of the first Western artists to depict bamboo in his paintings. And you have the bamboo here on the side. Now, bamboo has been considered a symbol of strength, resilience, and adaptability for centuries. In addition to these physical attributes, bamboo is believed to possess spiritual properties that can enhance one's well-being. Many believe that bamboo has healing powers and can be used in various meditation and spiritual practices. Well, that is basically very logical, because when you are relaxed and when you are calm, then you are able to absorb cosmic energies. If you are tense, if you're under stress, if you have constant thoughts and are agitated, then the cosmic energies cannot get in. So one of the results of meditation and one of the results of religious teachings and training and worship is to basically allow everyone to calm down, to become peaceful, and therefore allow cosmic energies to come in and gradually allow the person to grow in consciousness and to grow in evolution. And because of how well tall bamboo grows, it spiritually represents the desire to succeed. So the culms of the bamboo shoot higher and higher and up and up. And whenever anyone is called a bamboo tree, that's a compliment, because it means that you have an unquenchable thirst for growth and success. So if we have someone who's called a bamboo tree while they're doing spiritual practice, that means they are very dedicated and are doing whatever they are doing to the best of their ability. There's also another belief, and that is that bamboo plants can transform lives. just by placing a bamboo plant in your home or office could result in good fortune and prosperity. Now, the number of stalks that's in the bamboo plant has significance. 2 stalks, for example, represent double happiness, while 3 stalks can represent a new beginning. And here are some of the meanings of the number of stalks in a bamboo. So if you ever give a present of bamboo stalks and water, count how many of the stalks there are, and then you'll be able to figure out what the giver has been trying to wish for you. So 2, of course, we covered as double happiness. 3 is happiness, wealth, and longevity. 5 is 5 elements for balanced life. 6 is increasing opportunities for wealth. 7 is bestowing health. 8 is for blessed of wealth and abundance. 9 is good luck. And 10 is completeness and perfection in life. So depending on how many, if you notice, number 4 is missing and number 1 is missing. But I know that 4 is considered to be bad luck, so that's why you will not get bamboo plants with 4 stalks. Now, according to the Guinness World of Records, some species of bamboo can grow up to 2.91, almost 3 feet in a day. And that winds up being 1.5 inches per hour. So I could almost imagine that you could sit in front of the bamboo and you could literally watch it grow. You could actually see the growth happening in front of us. Fast grower. Now, when you think about cutting down a tree, cutting down a bush, cutting down anything, it usually means that, at least the destruction of part of that plant. But if you cut it off at the root, that means you've actually killed it. And it takes a while for that tree, that plant, that bush to come back and to be replaced. However, in the case of bamboo, cutting bamboo actually stimulates growth. How does this work? Well, rather than directing energy towards regaining its lost height, a cut bamboo stalk will simply unfurl new leaves. And these leaves in turn create and send energy down to the root system to encourage the growth of new shoots. The more that it gets harvested, the faster it grows. And that makes bamboo an incredible renewable resource that can be harvested and will regrow naturally. Some people who have gardens have found that you cannot stop bamboo from growing. It'll spread itself out. It will go around and under fencing. It goes wherever it wants to spread. It is unstoppable unless you take out the bamboo and plant a variety that is not what is termed as invasive. So it has the ability to replace itself and to grow unstopped. It cannot be stopped. Now, bamboo's incredible growth rate is impressive, while some of the reasons are less obvious, such as its powerful carbon sequestration potential. When properly managed and intensively harvested, bamboo can sequester or hold up to 1.78 tons of carbon dioxide per clump per year. This translates into a carbon dioxide drawdown curve that's up to 10 times faster than that of woody trees. So bamboo is 10 times more effective in drawing out the carbon dioxide that's in the air and freezing it, holding it in its root system and in itself, and therefore allowing the purification of the air and minimizing the heat that's produced by having too much carbon dioxide in the air, in the atmosphere. So now bamboo can be used to filter water because the bamboo roots form a water barrier and are used by coastal villages to protect their crops from getting washed out by rising water tables. So basically, they plant bamboo as a border to their fields, and that allows the water to be held in to irrigate the plants on the one hand and stops erosion from water coming in outside of the border. And because of this barrier, the bamboo can effectively filter organic matter, including soil nitrogen, leading some scientists to explore it as a sustainable wastewater treatment option. Fast-growing, dense roots allowing to detoxify and treat water. And this is very surprising to me. And maybe it'll be something new to you as well. Bamboo contains a large amount of silicate acid, and this makes the bamboo abnormally flame resistant. It will not burn. This is good news in fire-prone regions of the world where other tree and grass species are regularly devastated by wildfires. Incorporating clumping bamboo into tropical reforestation efforts can protect the long-term viability of projects. So regular woody trees will burn, and we've had many instances of wildfires and forest fires going on. If the reforestation of those areas include bamboo, then that area will be less likely to be included in a forest fire. Now, of course, you know that bamboo was both strong and flexible, and that makes it incredible environmentally friendly building material, especially in earthquake-prone regions, because the bamboo will bend, but it will not break. In this regard, bamboo has been prevalent since the beginning of humanity and has been used in place of wood, bricks, steel, and more. In fact, in some countries, bamboo stalks are used to build scaffolding. If we use bamboo for more construction purposes, we would save many trees and primary forests from deforestation. Because bamboo is so replaceable and so it regenerates itself very quickly, then it can be used in scaffolding and where we use regular woody plants and woody trees and stop the cutting down and clear cutting of forests. And if we are familiar with grass, we know that grass forms a very thick mat of roots. And as you have probably seen, you can cut that grass, roll it up into rolls, and then plant it somewhere else because the roots are so tight and they grow together. It's got a very heavy and shallow root system. But the rhizomes of the bamboo only populate the top 6 inches of the soil. The rest of the roots only spread around 14 inches deeper, but because the roots are so densely clumped, they do a great job at holding the top layer of the soil together, and that prevents soil erosion. So grass, and because bamboo is a grass and the way the grass grows with the root system, it prevents soil erosion. So in areas where you have mudslides or landslides, if bamboo was grown on those slopes, then it would hold the land together, the soil together, and it would not, there will not be any landslides. And here is another interesting fact. Bamboo gives off a tremendous amount of oxygen. It releases 35% more oxygen than any tree. And if you stand next to a clump of bamboo, it's like going into one of those oxygen clinics, or when you're in a hospital, you're giving oxygen to breathe. It's the same effect because the oxygen that is released by the bamboo. So instead of going to an oxygen clinic to get your dose of oxygen, it's easier to plant if you have the capacity. It's easier to plant a bamboo in your backyard or wherever and stand there for a while and absorb the higher oxygen level. Another thing is that bamboo does not need fertilizer to grow. And as you know, right now, fertilizer is being used everywhere to help things to grow because the soil has been so depleted. But bamboo doesn't need fertilizer. It self-mulches because the leaves drop, the leaves disintegrate, release the nutrients into the soil, and therefore that soil is now replenished and can grow more bamboo. In conjunction with fertilizer is usually pesticides are also used, and you don't need heavy machinery and irrigation to grow bamboo. And here is something else. Bamboo is naturally antibacterial and antifungal. It has a natural antimicrobial bioagent called bamboo-kun, and this bioagent makes bamboos resistant to pests that would harm them. Bamboo-kun is typically found in the trunk of the plant. It's so effective that it kills 70% of the bacteria that try to grow on it. And that's why bamboos don't need pesticides to grow. It's got its own internal pesticide, which means it also will resist rotting and decaying. Now, not only do we use bamboo for construction, for homes, it also is now being used in clothing. Fibers made from bamboo pulp are woven into a soft bamboo fabric that is antibacterial, moisture-wicking, odor-resistant, and regulates temperature. And now you can see, because of this, what I just said now, that it is antibacterial, moisture-wicking, odor-resistant, and regulates temperature, why bamboo is an eco-friendly alternative to many fabrics. And of course, just like regular trees, bamboo cools the air surrounding it by up to 8 degrees in the summer. And if we planted bamboo in our yards or in our gardens or in our park, then that area would be cooler than the surrounding area because of the effect of bamboo. And bamboo has been used for writing. For thousands of years, bamboo has been used as both paper and writing tool. Bamboo books have been used in China since as early as 400 BC. And since Chinese characters and Korean characters and Japanese characters are written vertically, only a single column of bamboo strip is needed. To make a book, the bamboo strips are connected by thread. And these books will be rolled up and will become like this bamboo here. So the strips are cut and then they're joined to make a flat and flexible type of paper that is hard paper. And of course, bamboo is used for building materials. It's a hardy, durable product from a renewable source. Bamboo building materials are becoming more and more popular with eco-aware consumers and environmentally responsible designers. Because of their positive attributes and the sustainability of bamboo as a natural resource, it is becoming very common to see bamboo not only as part of a structure, but as the entirety of the many structures. So here we see bamboo being used as balconies, as stairs, as supports, as room dividers, as roof supports, and as furniture as well. It is flexible. However, when it is dried, it becomes hard, and it could be used in many different structures and in many different forms. Now, there are many examples of structures made completely of bamboo on the internet, such as the Bamboo Living website. Of course, these examples are just a few of the types of structures that have been and continue to be made completely out of bamboo. Other examples of structures would be walls, support structures, roofs, bridges, houses, flooring, room dividers. And actually bamboo that has a large diameter, maybe 3 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches diameter, can be used as water bottles. And of course, we've also had cutting boards that are made from bamboo. So these structures are continually built because of not only the aesthetic value of bamboo, but the amazing qualities that it brings to any building. So in this structure here, you have the main column, which are many bamboo columns joined together. We have an arch that's being formed to support the roof. We have the slats of the roof that supports the top part of the actual water flowing off area. And this whole thing it reminds me of, if you've seen pictures of the columns of old, let's say, buildings like the universities like in Cambridge or in Palo Alto, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, they have buildings like this, but they are made from concrete and bricks, but here we have it made from bamboo. Now, the reasons why bamboo is being used so frequently as a building material is because not only of the strength of the bamboo, but also how it affects the environment. The attributes of bamboo that make it a great building materials include: number one, it's renewable. While traditional lumber sources take decades to replenish, up to 70 years in some cases of the hardwoods, bamboo is the fastest growing plant in the world. It can be harvested and then be ready to be harvested again in just months. Strength. Bamboo has been tested to have the tensile strength of light steel. So when you consider light steel as how strong that is, and if that is equivalent to the strength of bamboo, bamboo can withstand lots of stress. Then comes resistant to pests. Because of a natural bioagent called bamboo coon, as we've covered, bamboo is resistant to pests and pathogens. This means less rotting and loss of strength. As long as the bamboo retains its original structure, original form, then it remains strong. However, it has its own self-protecting agent. Let's say in the case of iron structures, you need to paint those structures to protect it from the weather so it doesn't rust. Bamboo by itself has its own protective agents against pests and against pathogens. It's also sturdy. Bamboo is generally sturdier than the most popular hardwood, maple, used for hardwood flooring. Used to have oak flooring as being much harder. Maple is a softer wood, however, it's strong enough for use to a floor. And it's also flexible. Because of the nature of bamboo, it is quite flexible when needed and can be bent into shapes as necessary. Lots of positive things about bamboo. Now, building with bamboo seems to be the wave of the future. From consumers passionate about the environment to designers looking for something hip and elegant, all kinds of people are getting interested in bamboo building materials. This renewable resource is slowly emerging out of ancient texts and becoming the modern ideal for building materials. And here we see it being used as siding. When one asks what other products are made from bamboo, usually the answer will be the rhetorical question, what products can be made from wood? The fact is, everything that can be made from wood can also be made with bamboo. However, the advantage of bamboo is that it grows incredibly fast. It can be harvested on an annual basis without damaging or having to replant the plantation or forest, and it has some superior mechanical properties compared to traditional timbers. So currently there are thousands of commercial bamboo products on the market, and new and innovative uses and applications are added every day. This goes from construction materials to food, to medicine, to musical instruments, to fabrics, paper pulp, fencing, basketry, utensils, bicycles, and the list goes on and on. So bamboo can be used in many different ways in many different places and provides an environmentally friendly, ecologically friendly, quickly renewable resource. I was also surprised to learn how many musical instruments are made from bamboo. Bamboo has been used to make musical instruments for thousands of years, probably as percussion instruments at first, but later also for wind and stringed instruments. Its natural hollow form makes bamboo an obvious choice for many traditional instruments, such as a wide variety of flutes, but because of the excellent sound properties of solid bamboo panels, it is now also used for making modern guitars. So here are some examples of musical instruments made from bamboo. So there's a popular saying that says that every bamboo forest has the instruments for a whole orchestra. The list of musical bamboo instruments is indeed very long and includes the xylophone, the rainsticks, the marimbas, aklung, castanets, drumsticks, zithers, split drums, chimes, maracas, guitars, ukuleles, violins, Chapman sticks, pan flutes, didgeridoos, pipe organs, saxophones, clarinets, kazoos, whistles, trumpets, and piccolos, just to name a few. Amazing what you can do with bamboo and do it well. And they have their own particular sound. Ironically, the computer revolution that was supposed to decrease our use of paper did not work, and instead we have a greater demand for paper than we used to have prior to the computer age. And this use of paper has skyrocketed over the past 20 years. In the United States alone, per capita consumption of paper and paperboard exceeds 800 pounds each year, which places enormous strain on forests that take decades to recover. The increasing popularity of bamboo paper may help to decrease reliance on wood pulp in papermaking and offer some relief to our remaining woodlands. So if we switch to bamboo paper, then we will not be needing to harvest even fast-growing trees to produce paper. And the Chinese, of course, have been making paper from bamboo for over 1,500 years. but currently the demand has grown considerably as consumers look for environmentally friendly products from renewable resources. And responding to this demand, paper manufacturers are introducing new bamboo paper products to the market that are comparable in strength, brightness, and printability to paper made from wood pulp. So we're no longer cutting bamboo into strips and using that as basically a writing base, but we're somehow making bamboo into pulp and forming that pulp into paper. If anyone is familiar with rice paper or with making paper, the Japanese making paper, basically a pulp is formed and then a screen is placed, and on the screen is placed that pulp. The water is drained out and what remains is paper. And this is the decorative paper that sometimes we see that you could have flowers in there, petals in there, other decorative materials, string, leaves. So this is basically how this works. So what is the life cycle of a bamboo? Because it is, so first of all, it gets planted and it has shoots, puts out its original first shoots. Then after the first shoots, after 2 years of planting, it grows much bigger. In year 3, it has spread out and grown taller. Then you have in year 4, it has spread out and grown taller. And then further on in 10 years, you have individual culms that that are together and they grow together. And that bamboo forest must be very, very peaceful and very cool and rich in oxygen. Just looking at it during a hot summer day makes it cooler. So again, bamboo is a perennial flowering plant with a distinctive life cycle. Many bamboo species remain in the vegetative phase for decades or even a century, followed by mass synchronous flowering, gregarious flowering, and subsequent death. So basically the bamboo, wherever that bamboo is planted, it will bloom at the same time. And it will also then die at the same time. However, the length of time that it lives in between being planted and blooming and dying is unknown, actually. They can estimate, but they don't really know how it happens, but it happens. So in this species, all plants of the same stock flower at the same time, regardless of differences in geographic location or climatic conditions, and then they die. The lack of environmental impact on the time of flowering indicates the presence of some sort of alarm clock in each cell of the plant, which signals the end of vegetative growth and the diversion of all energy to flower production. This mechanism, as well as the evolutionary cause behind it, is still largely a mystery. So if the same stock, meaning if you took a clump of bamboo separated from its original site, move it across to another continent, put it planted in that continent, and they may be separated by thousands of miles. If the original clump starts flowering, then the transplanted or the planted clump in another continent flowers at the same time, and then they die at the same time. How that happens is still a mystery. One of the ideas, one of the theories to explain this and explain the evolution of this mass flowering phenomenon is to prevent predators consuming a large portion of the plant seeds, which may prevent propagation of the species. This and other hypotheses are disputed and are still a mystery. So if humans still have a lot to learn as to how things go and how things communicate, because somehow, no matter where that clump, however it is separated, whether it's in one place or two places or 10 places, as long as they're coming in from same original stock, they will live, they will spread, they will grow, and they will then flower, and then they will die at the same time. But this sudden death of large areas of bamboo then puts pressure on animals that depend on bamboo as a food source, such as the currently endangered giant panda. Now, flowering produces large quantities of seeds, typically suspended from the ends of the branches. These seeds give rise to a new generation of plants that may be identical in appearance to those that preceded the flowering, or they may produce new cultivars with different characteristics, such as the presence or absence of striping or other changes in coloration of the culms. So as long as the growth and the spread is done vegetatively, meaning basically cloning itself, then the plants will be identical. However, it comes from seeds. It may introduce different varieties of bamboo because it is done through seed and cross-pollination. Now, of course, if you want to grow bamboo, it is important to understand the growth stages of this plant to make sure that they receive proper care and they are maintained well. So the first stage, of course, is sprouting. And the first stage of bamboo growth is sprouting, which occurs when the plant first emerges from the ground. And during this stage, the plant is vulnerable to damage and requires care. And this is the first stage that are the bamboo shoots that are harvested to produce food and is used in cooking. After sprouting, the bamboo plants enter the shoot development stage. And during this period, the plant's main focus is on developing strong shoots that will eventually become mature culms. So, of course, you'll have the nodes, you have the branch stub, nodal diaphragm. So these are parts of the bamboo. Now, the stage 3 is culm development. And this is when the bamboo plants begin producing mature culms. These culms will eventually become the primary structural element of the plant. So, of course, now the culm is stronger, taller, and of course, the diameter of the stem is bigger. And of course, in stage 4 is maturation. And the final stage of bamboo growth is maturation, which occurs when the plant reaches full size and begins to produce flowers. These are interesting flowers. If you look at the flowers, that kind of remind me of, well, grasses. This is similar to, let's say, oats or barley or wheat, because the seeds are actually coming out of this holder, which of course I don't know the technical name for. A clonal colony or genet is a group of genetically identical individuals, such as plants, fungi, or bacteria that have grown in a given location, all originating vegetatively, not sexually, from a single ancestor. This is what Expedia tells us. Some species of bamboo are clonal colonies. They are genetically identical culms that remain connected through a single root system, sharing water, minerals, and other essential nutrients. Although there may be hundreds, if not thousands, of culms in the colony, they are considered as one single organism. Now, according to the knowledge book, anything that exists has its own energy, frequency, and magnetic field. Whether it's a rock or grass or insect or human, each has its own dimension, its own consciousness. Since all the culms in a bamboo colony share the same genetic material and are considered as a single organism, then the entire colony can be said to be at a unified consciousness totality within its own energy, frequency, and magnetic field. So one colony, whether it's in one place or spread throughout the world, it is a single consciousness and a single magnetic field. Now, this is where humans are different from bamboo. Humans, on the other hand, arrive on this planet each at their own energy, frequency, conscious level, and in their own magnetic field. Now, the goal for humanity is to attain a unified consciousness at the same energy, the same frequency, and the same magnetic field. So how can this be done? How can this be achieved? Well, it may be a surprise to some, but humanity has been undergoing special procedures to enable it to reach unity consciousness. The knowledge book informs us that prior even to the introduction of the sacred texts, there was a preparatory period of 2,000 years. So we've been undergoing education and training and evolution for a long time. So the channel of Moses introduced the first sacred text, and that provided a formal worship and knowledge in accordance with the social consciousness of that time. And it was in effect for 2,000 years. Then humanity was introduced to the sacred texts of the formal worship of Jesus Christ, and again in conjunction according to the social consciousness of that time. Then Muhammad came in with his formal worship, again according with the social consciousness, and this was in effect for the next 2,000 years. And in the year 2000, evolution of the sacred text is deemed to be finished. So that portion of our education as of the year 2000 is deemed to be finished. We should have finished and attained alpha dimension at that time. So the year 2000 marked the beginning of the universal program for the next 2,000 years, and that was introduced by the knowledge book. Starting with the year 1900, humanity entered a very accelerated evolution program as part of the first cosmic age, and we are now currently in the transition from the religious dimension to the universal dimension. And the programs introduced by the knowledge book will unite humanity at a single unified consciousness in time. Those who attain religious consciousness by arriving at the 18th dimension, the alpha dimension, are then introduced to the knowledge book. And the knowledge book, through its programs, gradually increases the person's energy, frequency, consciousness, and magnetic field. In fascicle 45, number 17, this humane totality will be a totality that will be loving, patient, tolerant, forgiving, who will be able to place his/her enemy over his/her head like a crown, and who will not have an adverse thought about anyone, including his/her own self. In fascicle 7, if you can embrace even your enemy with love, if you can think of sharing your food even if you are hungry, if you can ask forgiveness even from the soil that you trample, then you solve the cipher of Mevlana. So we need to arrive at infinite tolerance, infinite love, and infinite humility. So when each unique individual attains the qualities of the previous two slides, through the programs of the knowledge book, they will become genuine humans and arrive at a single consciousness totality. They will then have finished with world evolution and can continue on to the advanced dimensions. One thing I wanted to mention is that we will not be clones of each other. We will just be at the same consciousness, that unity consciousness, at the same frequency, at the same energy, and the same knowledge. So an example is this. We need all the instruments in an orchestra to produce and to play a specific piece of music. So each one of those people who are playing each their own specific instruments, that unite at a single consciousness of the music that they are playing. Each one of the letters of the alphabet, whatever language we're talking about, represents a specific sound. So each squiggle, however that looks like, has a specific sound, and when it is combined into words, it gives meaning to those words. So again, we need separate individual letters to produce a novel, to produce a book, to produce a poetry, or produce anything that we need to say. So we will not be identical clones of each other. We will each have our own characteristics. However, we will be united at a single consciousness totality, a unified consciousness totality. And that's all she wrote for today. Again, the website for the Turkish website is www.dkb-mevlana.org.tr. Again, www.dkb-mevlana.org. And the website for the Call to Friendship is www.calltofriendship.org. And my information again is Ptaszek99, no, mmjp99@gmail.com, 973-787-7035. We'll talk next time. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Ptaszek. Marge was led to the Knowledge Book, a gift to humanity, at its time of transition to the Golden Age that provides the truth, energies, and knowledge. Now, she shares information from and answers questions about the Knowledge Book with you the fourth Tuesday each month at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information, visit usa.theknowledgebook.net and tune in next time for another amazing show on Knowledge Book Radio.